You have 20 pounds of fat left to lose, yet nothing seems to be working. I've been in the exact same position. I was 50 pounds down, eating incredibly well, training consistently. I was putting in the work, but yet nothing was moving. I hadn't changed anything. And because I didn't understand it, I just kept doing what I would always do, getting less and less out, the same effort, if not more effort, and slowly convincing myself something was wrong with me. I just couldn't get to 15% body fat, but there was nothing wrong with me. My name's Adam. I'm a performance nutritionist. I've helped over 200 men lose that last bit of stubborn fat. With the last 20 to 30 pounds, you cannot use the same rule book you used at the start. So if you've got 20 pounds left of fat to lose, you've come a long way, and you're looking at things like, oh, there must be something wrong with me. I need to try something more extreme. I would say pause for a minute. Look at what you're currently doing. Look at what's got you there. What has helped you lose the weight so far? What was it? Because I was, like I said, 50 pounds down and nothing was shifting. But you need to understand that it could have taken you 6 months to get here. It could take you 5 months, it could take you a year. You're gonna have some diet fatigue. So the first thing I would assess is, do you need to take a break? Do you need like a diet break, 2 weeks, where you just sit at maintenance calories? Do you need that? If you do that, go for that first. If you feel like I definitely need a break, I'm one meal away from spiraling, but eat the same foods during those 2 weeks. Track everything just as meticulously. But you're gonna have way more calories, your body weight in pounds times 15. Just think about that. Maintenance. You're gonna add some weight to the scale, sure, water weight, but that's gonna come straight back off when you start eating less. And it could come straight back off within those 2 weeks because you start putting in more effort, you start moving more, start operating differently, just moving, fidgeting a bit more like this and that when you're sitting on the phone and stuff like that. So there's that to consider. A 2-week break. Not everyone needs it, but if you really feel spent cycle, you're just putting in so much effort, you get nothing more out of it. Take that 2-week break. Don't look at it as like, I'm slacking. You probably do need it if you're feeling that way. And just to go back to something, one of the biggest things I see and most people miss is they're not even tracking to begin with. They're not tracking properly. They were able to lose weight on sheer just omission, removing foods, eating less processed foods, eating more whole foods. But they haven't tracked properly, or they track properly at the start, then just, use it as a guide, lost certain weight. Now you need to bring the tracking in. You've got less body fat to lose. The last 20 pounds is gonna take a lot of effort. If you don't track, you're just shooting or playing darts in the dark. I was gonna say shooting in the dark, but yeah, either one. So what you need to do is you need to track meticulously, MyFitnessPal, Chronometer, whatever you want to use. Just use something that's easy to use for you. And if you're saying to me, oh, that takes up so much time, in the long run, I promise you, it saves you time. Tracking saves you time in the long run. It teaches you something about nutrition that nothing else will teach you. It teaches you portion sizes, it teaches you portion control. You can look at a meal and be like, oh, that's roughly 500-600 calories. And most of the time you can be right. And if you're like, oh, Adam, I'm going out to eat a lot, you can do a few things when you go out to eat. Overestimate or take a picture, use AI, like anything like Claude or ChatGPT, whatever. Ask it to estimate your calories and then times that estimate by 1.2 if it sounds a bit off. And then you can just put in a calorie amount into MyFitnessPal or whatever app you're using as a placeholder. At least then you'll be able to keep the consistency of it. And then you can look back at it if it's a regular meal and you'd be like, oh, maybe that was a bit more because weight's been added. But again, another thing I see people do here is they stop weighing in daily because they're not seeing the scale move or it's slowing down. So they stop and they drift back up because you need to weigh in daily. Take the weekly average. You can weigh in at least 3 times a week, I would say. But if you're serious about losing the next 20 pounds of body fat, which can never happen if you don't tighten things up, weigh yourself daily. Take the weekly average, see what's happening. This helps keep you accountable too. You're accountable to yourself when you step on that scale. When I'm in a fat loss phase, if I know I have to weigh in the next day and I have to record it, I'm less likely to grab something else after dinner. Far less likely. And now let's say, okay, oh, Adam, I'm doing those things, I'm tracking religiously. You've lost weight. You have a new BMR based on metabolic rate. Of course, you weigh less now. So you burn more calories doing the same things. You burn more calories just living. So reassess that. If you need to drop that, just now times your body weight in pounds by 10. That's the lowest I would go. If it's not set at that, if it's really far from that, then set it at that. That should be enough to tie you over now for the next 20 pounds in terms of calories. And if you're saying to me, oh, Adam, I'm starving naturally. For every pound you lose, say if you've lost 50 pounds, I can't even do that maths, your appetite goes up by around 50 calories. So that's the real problem. The metabolic adaptation that people talk about is exaggerated. It's really exaggerated. You burn maybe 6 calories less for each pound loss, but your appetite's going up significantly. So you're hungry, and then you're feeling maybe deprived if you've not been following something more flexible. So you're way more likely to overeat. So now you need to assess your meals. Do these meals keep me full? If not, ask yourself, are you getting enough protein? If the answer to that is yes, you're getting 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of your body weight or goal body weight even, then the next thing, and I think this is even more important, I wouldn't say than protein because protein protects muscle, and protein helps you recover. It is really satiating, but fiber. I say this is second most important because I've taken vegans and I've just introduced way more protein than they've been like, I'm too full, I can't hit my calories. Great situation to be in. From going from being starving to not being able to hit your calories because you're too full. That is a great situation to be in. So now, again, like I said, fiber is the second lever, but these are going to help your meals. With fibrous foods like broccoli, vegetables, just berries, fruits. I say fruits kind of more, I'm talking about more like berries, like raspberries, super high in fiber, but foods that are high in fiber, you want to go for. Let's fill up your plate for less calories. And again, just going back, just because you're eating these foods doesn't mean you don't have to track. You need to do both. You want to lose the last 20 pounds. You want to get to 15% body fat. Maybe your target is 13 or 12. You're not going to get there. And I promise you're not going to get there. Well, you might, but you just lose muscle or you just have a lot of fuss in the meantime without tracking. I've seen so many people get there without tracking. They either remove carbs, go carnivore, go vegan, something ultra restrictive. And I promise you can't. Well, some people can. But most of the time, you don't want to go that extreme unless you actually want to. If you want to and you're fine with it, and you actually really want to live that way, then go for it. But don't start entering an ultra restrictive diet if you're only going to do that in the short term, because as soon as you go back to eating normal, which you haven't set a new normal through your habits, it's gonna bounce back. And now another thing, if you're doing all those things, you cut calories, stuff, but nothing's moving, assess your overall movement. If you're training 3 or 4 times a week with strength training, I'll say with strength, hopefully you're gaining strength. If you're not, at least maintaining strength at this point, that's going to be good. So it means you're at least maintaining muscle. What you want to do here is assess your movement. Can you add more steps in? If you can, go for that. If you're at your step limit in terms of time, commitment, everything else, the next lever is, bear in mind you've cut calories to the lowest point, everything else, cardio. 2 to 3 sessions a week. Most people don't have to do this, but there could be multiple reasons why you have to do this. But do this if you need to do this. 2 to 3 sessions on a bike, rowing machine, elliptical, whatever it takes. Just make sure you enjoy it. And you're probably like to me, oh, but what happens, if I run into recovery issues or hunger issues because of this, then probably not a good move. But this is just something you can do. Again, most people don't need to do this, but some people need to do it because they can't hit more than like 6,000 like steps daily, no matter what they do, just because of their job or life. So that can be a good next move. But again, not everyone needs it, because you can get lean, you can get to 10% without even, I'm not saying to get to 10% without even doing any cardio. So you can certainly get to 15%, even 13, 12% without doing cardio. But again, it is good for your health. I acknowledge that. You do burn calories. I acknowledge that too. But you don't use that as your primary lever for trying to burn more calories. And you can listen to people that say, oh, train like an athlete. Oh, you'll look like an athlete. If you've got the time of an athlete, if you've got the recovery of an athlete, because recovery is a huge one. When training load is high, stress from everyday life is high, your commitments are high, something will go. Your immune system, maybe you'll get sick more often. Maybe you'll get injuries more often. Maybe your sleep will worsen. Hunger will go through the roof as a response to that. There's so many downstream effects that people do not consider. Your last 20 pounds, remember, this is what it is. So now you want to really look at everything. If you're doing all these things, everything I just discussed, you want to write down, maybe assess yourself on how well you're doing these things. If you're tracking Monday to Friday perfectly, but Saturday and Sunday you're not tracking at all, then we've got an issue here. If you're getting in strength training sessions, maybe you're doing 2 out of your proposed 5, you're not really training consistency. Maybe that's a place to fix before you add more stuff. So you have to rate what you're currently doing. If everything, like I said, is going well, you will lose those 20 pounds. And it might just be about taking a diet break, just 2 weeks of maintenance calories. It might also be moving the goalpost. Maybe now is not a time where you push this and you just go into maintenance and you revisit, I'm okay with this, revisit this 20 pounds in, a few months, and now you just learn how to live at maintenance, because if you try to push harder at this point, everything can backfire. And you don't want that. It's way better to maintain than it is to just go back. So you just set maintenance calories. You you take a diet break, but it's just way longer. And then you return to it when you're ready to just push things up. But again, I would still track things. Again, I would still weigh in regularly. Again, I would still take photos every 2 weeks. Measure your waist. All these things matter. And then I would say, lastly, if everything's perfect, your weight staying exactly the same, I would keep regular tracking I'll do this anyway, of your waist and photos. Because some people in certain conditions can recomp a lot better, where their weight will just stop moving and they'll just build and build and build and build. And then the fat just comes off them. I've seen this a handful of times. I've seen a handful of times where weight doesn't move from the start, they just fully recomp. If you're detrained or you had more muscle mass at a certain age, or you're currently, you've moved to TRT, for example, that could be the case. You could just recomp and then you're adding muscle, losing fat, but you're not tracking correctly, you're not measuring your waist, you're not taking photos. So all this is to say that if you're stuck with the 20 pounds, you've got a realistic goal. You're going to go for something that's realistic. And your setup is realistic. You're not struggling with hunger, which will derail most people. You're going to get there. And I will say to you, it's just about patience. But no, it's not just about patience. If you have the wrong setup, your patience will wear thin. It does every time. I see this all the time. So if you actually want to lose that last 20 pounds, hopefully get to 15% body fat, which I recommend for most people, then yes, you will have to be patient. But with the right routine, the right structure, the right strategy, it's so much easier to be patient in general. And now I want to bring you on to kind of what I would think of as the last box to tick. In terms of the last box to tick, and people will say, shouldn't I have done this at the start? Yes, you should have. But now might be time to return to your why. If you've lost motivation completely, I always say map this out to begin with, but if you're this far down the line, you probably have. If you haven't, now is a better time than any time. You want to map out your why. Why are you doing this? What does it do? What does it change in your life? What does losing this 20 pounds do for you as a person? How does it change your life, the people around you? If you haven't got a good enough why, you won't bother, because the squeeze is not worth the juice. Am I saying it right? I think I am. So many times I've seen people do this. They abort their fat loss journey. They do so well to a point, then they stop and they're like, I look fine. It's okay. There's no other benefit of me being leaner, which is fine. completely fine. And now focus on performance. But if you genuinely want to lose it, you need to figure out why. And it's not looking good. It's not having abs for the first time in my life. Like, what does that do for you? What does that mean for you? What does that do for the people around you? You need to get deep. If you're not deep and honest with yourself, it's just, it becomes feeble. It's like, okay, I'm out, drinks, great music, great company. Why would I not just have that burger, sides, and drinks? Why would you not? So remember that. And again, know that if you've got the last 20 pounds to lose, it's all about looking at everything that's got you here. How can you tighten those things? Maybe you add things you haven't done before. There's so many layers to this. And it really comes down to one key thing, a self-assessment. What you're doing and what you can do. From there, the 20 pounds, the last 20 pounds, if there is 20 pounds, might be more, might be a lot less, will come off. And you will be hopefully satisfied with your progress. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe, comment with any questions you have. I personally answer everything. And watch this video next. I'll see you there.